Hi, this is Diana George. I'm here again today with By George HR Solutions, and so we have 5 tips in 5 minutes. So are you ready to get started? I'm ready. Here we go. So we're going to do 5 tips in 5 minutes. What is our subject today? It is professionalism in the workplace. How often have you gone someplace yourself and been like, wow, I cannot believe that people aren't more professional itself. And so when you are professional in the workplace, it really is something that stands out. And so it is definitely a customer service point itself, internally and externally. So let's talk about the 5 tips for today. So first tip is attire. Okay, so in your organization, you need to know what is acceptable attire. And so that's going to be different based upon the organization. So now if you're in an environment where you're dealing with customers, always keep that in mind. You want to make sure that you're dressed appropriately for those customers that are coming in. You always want to make sure that you always go a step above. Let's face it, you really can't be overdressed. And if you're not sure, look, always go for being overdressed and standing out from everybody else. Because when you stand out, guess what? People notice. They'll notice. It's like, you know what, I've noticed that he always has on a suit, or she's always dressed in a certain way itself. It says something about the individual, and you will gain opportunities just by your address and attire. So you want to separate yourself, take a look at what the attire is for work, but always try to go over and beyond that itself. Okay, so tip number 2 is be on time. Okay, I can't stress this enough. You want to be on time for work. And so you need to plan accordingly. And if you need to be to work at 9 o'clock, you know that you have traffic, well then plan out so that you get there ahead of time itself. Now, let me say, this does not mean that you get there exactly at 9 o'clock and you still have to put on your makeup, or you have to put on shoes, or now you have to go get that donut, or you're going to go get that cup of coffee. 9 o'clock means 9 o'clock. You should be at your desk or wherever your job is at the time frame that you're supposed to be there. It really sets you apart, and it says to your employer that you care. You're on top of things itself. You are responsible. So I can't tell you how important it is to be on time. I have seen people lose other opportunities within their organization just because they cannot show up or they're not on time. Okay, it really is a game changer, and it's something that everybody can control. And so be on time. Step number 3, obnosis. So what does that mean? I'm going to call that observing the obvious. And so what that means is you're really going to be aware of everything that's going on in your area itself. You want to make sure that you're aware of what other people are doing, what you're doing itself. And so you're really in tune to what's happening so that you can maybe support people that are doing other things, or even your manager or supervisor. You're observing when things need to be done, and you're not just waiting or being told to do something itself. That really means that you're proactive. And what that's going to say is that you care. You care about what it is that you're doing. You have a sense of pride in how you operate, and people will notice that. Okay, our next step, which is step number 4, you want to learn your company. And so you're hired for a job, and I get that, and you may be in a certain division or certain department, but you're really just one small individual in how the whole company operates itself. And so now if you learn how other departments around you operate itself, and you build relationships with those individuals, you will get so much more work done. And guess what? You become known as that team player. You become known as that person that I can always go and depend upon them, and you're aware yourself. So our next tip is, and this is the final one for today, productivity. And I'm always going to bring it back to productivity, because you were hired to do a job, and your employer and the company is expecting you to do a certain job. And so the best way to stand out, the best way is to shine, is to go to work and do the job that you're supposed to do. It means that you're productive. It means that you have results. And so when you have results, it will get you noticed every single time. So those are my 5 tips for the day. I can't wait to come back and share additional tips with you at another time. Have a wonderful day. And once again, you can always reach me at www.bygeorgehr.com or solutions@bygeorgehr.com. And for your free consultation, reach out to me today.